Students, in previous class we have already discussed example 5. We have solved Abel integral equation with the help of Laplace transform and we get the solution. We get this solution. Now we will take the sixth example. Determine the resolvent kernel and hence the integral equation this. And hence solve the integral equation this. Yt is equal to ft plus 0 integral 0 to t e raised to the power t minus x yx dx. This is equation number 1. So use the convolution. This can be written as yt is equal to ft plus yt convolution e raised to the power t. Due to this is in the form of convolution. So yt star e raised to the power t. Now taking the Laplace transform, so yp bar is equal to fp bar plus the Laplace of this will be yp bar and Laplace of e raised to the power t is multiply by 1 by p minus 1. From here you can take yp common. So we have this yp bar into 1 minus 1 upon p minus 1 is equal to fp bar. So from here yp bar is p minus 1 upon p minus 2 fp bar. This is equation number 1. Okay, now we know that the resolvent kernel is given by this. We have already discussed this in previous class. If you have remembered this is the resolvent kernel approach. We have already discussed. This is the yt is equal to ft plus this. This is the resolvent kernel of this type of equation. So here we will use this concept. So yt is equal to ft plus integral 0 to t r t minus x fx dx. So now with the help of convolution, this can be written as ft plus rt convolution ft. Now take the Laplace transform. So yp bar is equal to fp bar plus Laplace of this is rp bar. Laplace of ft is fp bar. From here you can take fp bar common. So 1 plus rp bar into fp bar. This is third. So now when you compare yp bar here, then this right hand side is equal to this right hand side. So hence 1 plus rp bar this into fp bar is equals to this into fp bar. So fp bar se fp bar cancel. So this quantity is equal to this quantity. So rp bar is p minus 1 upon p minus 2 minus 1. That means 1 upon p minus 2. After simplification we get 1 upon p minus 2. Now taking the inverse Laplace transform. So rt is e raised to the power 2t and hence r of t minus x. If you replace this t by t minus x here, so e raised to the power 2 t minus x. Now replace this quantity here. So yt is equal to ft plus integral 0 to t r t minus x fx dx. So yt is equal to ft plus 0 to t e raised to the power 2 t minus x fx dx. So this will be the solution. If fx is known, then we can find out the solution of this type of integral equation. So this is the solution, okay, with the help of Laplace transform. Now we have last example here. So suppose we have two algebraic equations. So here we have a system of equations. First equation is this: phi 1x is equals to 1 minus 2 integral 0 to x e raised to the power 2x minus t phi 1t plus 0 to x phi 2t dt. Second equation is phi 2x is equal to 4x minus 0 to x phi 1t dt plus 4 integral 0 to x minus t phi 2t dt. So we have two equations. So our aim is to solve these two integral equations with the help of Laplace transform. So solve these two system of equations. So now first take the Laplace transform of first equation. So here we have phi 1 p bar is equals to here Laplace of 1 is 1 upon p minus 2 and Laplace with the help of convolution this is nothing but 1 upon Laplace of this e raised to the power 2t. इसको convolution में लिखेंगे and then Laplace लेंगे तो 1 upon p minus 2 and Laplace of this is phi 1 p bar plus here Laplace of this will be what, इसको हम लिखेंगे 1 लिख सकता हूं मैं 1 into this Laplace of 1 is 1 upon p. Laplace of this will be phi 2 p bar. Okay. So this is the Laplace transform of first equation. Now the second equation here Laplace of this quantity is phi 2 p bar. Laplace of this will be 4 upon p square minus Laplace of, again you can take here 1, so 1 upon p, and Laplace of this is phi 1 p bar plus 4. Here this is nothing but actually t. So Laplace of t will be nothing but 4 upon p square. Here 4, Laplace of t will be 1 upon p square and Laplace of this quantity will be. तो हमने convolution का इस्तेमाल किया यहाँ भी. Okay. So after now from first equation we can summarize these two. So that's why this is 1 plus 2 upon p minus 2 phi 1 p bar minus, we can take this in the left hand side, so minus 1 upon p phi 2 p bar is equals to 1 upon p. Similarly second equation we can take phi 2 p bar common, and this in the left hand side will be 1 upon p phi 1 p bar plus 1 minus 4 upon p square phi 2 p bar is equal to 4 by p. Solve these two equations. So we, after simplification we get this. Now with the help of Cramer rule solve for the phi 1p and phi 2p. So Cramer rule means determinant of 1 upon p 4 by p square, this column, and then we have this column minus 1 by p 1 minus 4 by p square divided by determinant of these two. So p minus 2 1 minus 1 by p 1 upon p 1 minus 4 by p square. Solve this. After solving this we get this. After simplification and doing all these calculations, you can see we get after simplification of this we get this divided by the determinant of this, which is this. फिर इसको separate कर लिया. So after simplification we get p upon p plus 1 whole square. Then doing partial fraction. So after doing the partial fraction we can take plus 1 and minus 1 here. So p plus 1 minus 1 divided by p plus 1 whole square. So when we separate this, so we get 1 upon p plus 1 minus 1 upon p plus 1 whole square. Now take the inverse Laplace transform. So we get this phi 1x is e raised to the power minus x e raised to the power minus x. Okay. Similarly phi 2 p bar is as per the Cramer rule, this is the determinant divided by this determinant. ठीक है. So when we solve this, simplify, so we get this quantity. Again after simplification this is nothing but p plus 1 whole square. Then 3p इसको हम लिख सकते हैं 3p minus 6 plus 2 8. Basically we want to partial fraction करेंगे इसके. So we get this 3 upon p plus 1 whole square plus 8 upon 9 p minus 2 minus 8 upon 9 p plus 1 minus 8 upon 3 p plus 1 whole square. So this is the partial fraction, and after simplification we get this. Okay. So after taking inverse Laplace, so we get phi of x is equal to, this is phi 2. Phi 2x is 1 by 3 x e raised to the power minus x minus 8 by 9 e raised to the power minus x plus 8 by 9 e raised to the power 2x. So this is the solution. Okay. So this is the solution. इसमें important चीज जो note जो थी, बाकी the calculation है. The important thing is that here if we have 1, so we get 1 means 1 by p after taking the Laplace transform. Similarly here we have 1 here, so we have to take 1 here and then apply the convolution and then Laplace transform. So Laplace of 1 will be 1 by p. Okay. So this is the important key point here. Now we have to apply Fourier transform to solve integral equations. So here this solution of integral equations using Fourier transform. Just like Laplace transform, we can also apply Fourier transform to solve the integral equations. So what is the Fourier transform? So here Fourier transform of yx is denoted by yp bar, and this is equal to nothing but minus infinite to infinite e raised to the power ipx yx dx, where x varies from minus infinite to infinite. This is the Fourier transform of fyx. Now the function yx is then called the inverse Fourier transform of f of yx or yp bar, and is given by, so yx is nothing but inverse Fourier transform of yp bar, which is equals to 1 by 2 pi integral minus infinite to infinite e raised to the power minus ipx multiply by yp bar dp bar. So this is Fourier transform. This is inverse Fourier transform. Okay, now here we have only 1 multiply by 1, here we have multiply by 1 upon 2 pi. So if you bifurcate this into two equal parts, that means 1 upon root 2 pi, 1 upon root 2 pi. Then if one part is taken with this part and another part is taken with this part, then that is called the symmetric form. So in symmetric form, basically one part is taken here. So f Fourier transform of yx is yp bar is equals to 1 upon root 2 pi here. Integral this. So this part is as it is this part. However, this is bifurcated into two equal parts. So one part is with Fourier transform and another part is with the inverse Fourier transform. If you take the product of these two, again you are getting 1 upon 2 pi. Okay. So this is called a symmetric form. Now Fourier sine transform. So Fourier sine transform of yx is ysp bar is equals to 0 to infinite. Here we have minus infinite to infinite. Here we have 0 to infinite. Okay. So 0 to infinite yx sine px dx. And again x varies from 0 to infinite. However, here x varies from minus infinite to infinite. Here x varies from 0 to infinite. Fine. Now the corresponding inverse Fourier sine transform is given by this. Yx is fs inverse ysp bar, which is equals to 2 by pi 0 to infinite ysp bar sine px dp. Okay, so this is the inverse Fourier sine transform. Again, if you are taking the symmetric form, that just bifurcate this into two equal parts. So one part is attached with Fourier sine transform and one part is attached with inverse Fourier sine transform. So we get the symmetric form. So fs yx is equal to ysp bar is equals to square root of 2 by pi 0 to infinite yx sine px dx. Okay, and then yx is inverse Fourier sine transform of ysp bar is equals to square root of 2 by pi 0 to infinite ysp bar sine px dp. Similarly, Fourier cosine transform. So Fourier cosine transform of yx is ycp bar is equals to 0 to infinite yx cos px dx. X varies from 0 to infinite, and the corresponding inverse formula is given by yx is fc inverse Fourier cosine transform inverse is ycp bar 2 by pi square 0 integral 0 to infinite ycp bar cos px dA. Again, if you take this into, if you bifurcate into two equal part and one part is attached with here and one part is attached with this inverse Fourier cosine transform, then we have the symmetric form. So here is the symmetric form. Here is the symmetric form. So both are equivalent. Regular and symmetric both are equivalent to each other. दोनों आप कोई भी लगा सकते हैं. ओके, बट अगर आप इन सिमेट्रिक फॉर्म लगा रहे हैं तो फिर उसी का रेगुलर, उसी का डायरेक्ट कोसाइन और उसी का इनवर्स लगाना पड़ेगा. सिमिलरली इन द साइन एंड इनवर्स Fourier cosine transform and similarly in the its normal form. जब आप Fourier transform लगा रहे हैं, अगर सिमेट्रिक फॉर्म का यूज किया है तो फिर उसी का इनवर्स लगाना पड़ेगा, यह ध्यान रखना. ओके, ऐसा नहीं कि आपने सिमेट्रिक फॉर्म तो डायरेक्ट ये लगाया, इनवर्स में आप उसका रेगुलर फॉर्म लगा रहे हैं, नहीं, ऐसा नहीं करना है. ठीक है. ओके, नाउ द लीनियरिटी प्रॉपर्टी ऑफ Fourier ट्रांसफॉर्म. सो Fourier ट्रांसफॉर्म ऑफ c1y1 plus c2y2 is equals to c1 Fourier transform of y1x plus c2 Fourier transform of y2x. Similarly, Fourier sine transform c1 y1x plus c2 y2x is c1 Fourier sine transform of y1x plus c2 Fourier sine transform of y2x. Fourier cosine transform of c1 y1x plus c2 y2x is c1 Fourier cosine transform of y1x plus c2 Fourier cosine transform of y2x. So this is nothing but the linearity property. Now the change of scale property. So if Fourier transform of yx is yp bar, then Fourier transform of yax is equals to 1 by a yp by a bar. Okay. If Fourier sine transform of yx is ysp bar, then fs yax, Fourier sine transform of yax is 1 by a ysp by a bar. If Fourier cosine transform of yx is ycp bar, then Fourier cosine transform of yax will be 1 by a ycp by a bar. Okay. Next is the convolution or Faltung. So g star h, then mean convolution between two functions g and h is equals to integral minus infinite to infinite gx ht minus x dx is equals to integral minus infinite to infinite gt minus x hx dx. Either you can use this or this, both are equal. Here t minus x is h, here t minus x is with g, so both are equivalent. Okay. Now the convolution property. Fourier transform of g convolution h is equals to Fourier transform of gx multiplied by Fourier transform of hx. And now the last property is shifting property. If Fourier transform of yx is yp bar, then Fourier transform of yx minus a is e raised to the power ipa yp bar. So this is the shifting property. So this is all about the Fourier transform. Now how to apply this? Let's see here. So, example number 1. Solve the integral equation 0 to infinite fx cos px dx is equals to 1 minus p when p is in between 0 and 1 and 0 when p is greater than 1 using Fourier transform. So find out the solution of this integral equation. Now you will see here we have the term cos px and hence we have to apply Fourier cosine transform. Okay. So what is Fourier cosine transform? We know the formula. Fourier cosine transform of this function p, this, if you will see Fourier cosine transform, this formula, we will use this formula. Yx is equals to fycp bar is equal to 0 to infinite fx cos px dx, and its inverse is given by this. So we will use this formula. So this term yx cos px is, if you will see here we have fx cos px. So this is as it is same as that, in place of y we are having fx. So hence Fourier cosine transform of this is not this exact one, this should be Fourier cosine transform of fx, this. Okay, this should be, this is equals to 0 to infinite fx cos px dx. This is cos px dx. So taking the inverse Fourier cosine transform, we have, just take the inverse. So fx is equals to 2 by pi 0 to infinite fcp bar. So here we are, in short we can denote this fcp bar in short. So fcp bar cos px, और ये मैं यहाँ लिख देता हूँ fcp bar in short, because after solving this for x we get a function of p. So fcp bar. Okay. So now what is, so suppose we have this is our fcp bar, function of p. So here when you open this to 2 by pi, now 0 to infinite. So from 0 to 1 the value of f function will be 1 minus p. So the value of this will be 1 minus p from 0 to 1, plus from 1 to infinite the value will be 0. So value will be 0. So this will be 0. You cancel out ho gaya. So ultimately we get this. Now we will here solve this integral. So 2 by pi, and first function as it is, integral of this will be sin px by x, and we limit 0 to 1 minus integral 0 to 1. Now the derivative of this will be minus 1, and the integral of this function will be sin px by x dp. Again integrate, substitute the limits here. So we get 0 minus 0, because when you put p is equals to here 1, so we get sin x by x, but p is equal to 1 will provide you 0, minus when p is equal to 0, so we get sin 0, and sin 0 is 0, plus from here minus minus becomes plus, plus 0 to 1 sin px by x dx. Again integrate 2 by pi, integrate this with respect to p, so we get minus cos px by x square from 0 to 1. After simplification, 2 by pi x square, 1 minus cos x. So this is the solution of this problem. Last problem is this, example number 2. Solve integral equation 0 to infinite fx cos px dx is e raised to the power minus p. So let fcp bar is e raised to the power minus p this. So suppose this is assumed as fcp bar. So given equation can be written as fcp bar is 0 to infinite fx cos px dx. Again we have used Fourier cosine transform. So now inverse Fourier cosine transform will be fx is equal to 2 by pi 0 to infinite fcp bar cos px dp is equal to 2 by pi 0 to infinite fcp bar is e raised to the power minus p cos px dx. Integrating it and apply the limits. After solving this, 2 upon pi 1 plus x square is the solution. So this is the Fourier sine transform. Okay, so this is all about the Laplace transform and Fourier sine transform. Now in the next class we will start Green's function. What is Green's function? How to use the Green's function to solve the integral equation. Okay, thank you.